Hello everyone, my name is Miriam Jensen and I'm a licensed clinical marriage and family therapist in the state of Kansas. And I'm also a registered play therapist who is the Association for Play Therapy. And today I wanted to share another cool intervention with you that might be of help. Do you have a child in your life, whether you are a clinician or a parent, who is a perfectionist? Like maybe someone who wants to do everything right or gets so frustrated when something is not exactly the way they want it to be. I have found in my practice that there is a really cool intervention. When I discovered it, I was like, where was this my whole entire life? Because I deal with perfectionism myself, and it can be really difficult when something even for grown-ups, when something is not exactly the way we imagined it to be or wanted it to be for our kids or for ourselves or for a specific project at work. And let alone when you are a child and you don't have a whole lot of emotional regulation skills. And it can be so frustrating because children have a very, very imaginative brain. And when they get to imagine something very vividly and they can't put it into practice or into work that well as they are seeing it in their brain, it can be super frustrating. So I wanted to share with you The Beautiful Oops. The Beautiful Oops is a really cool, I don't want to say book, it's under book if you get it on Amazon, but it is a really cool activity, I would say, because after we read this book together, we do an activity about the beautiful oops, and it's super duper very helpful. I will share with you about the book. It is really cool. It is The Beautiful Oops by Barney Saltzberg. Beautiful oops. Oops! A torn piece of paper. Oh no, it's torn. Wow, it's just the beginning. It can be the mouth of a crocodile or an alligator, I'm not sure. Every spill, and there's a spill, and I always ask the kid like, oh, what do you see in this spill before we open the page? And they get to imagine whatever it is. Has lots, maybe some puppies, and lots, maybe birds, of possibilities. Bent paper. Oh no, there's a bent piece of paper. What should we do? Well, maybe we can do it into something. Is something to celebrate. A little drip of paint. And I always ask the child, like, what can we do with those drips of paint? Because sometimes we are painting and some drips drip on the piece of paper that we are painting on, and we can be very frustrated because it ruined my painting. Well, it doesn't have to if you get to make it into something different. It's a beautiful oops. Well, let your imagination run wild. A scrape of paper, even if we have a scrape of paper that is not very well cut, we can make it still into something. Can be fun to play with. They made it into a puppy in this book. A smudge or a smear. Sometimes we are drawing with markers and then our hands get to smudge, or with paint and our hand get to smudge the drawing. A smudge and a smear. Ooh, can make magic appear. Or a stain. Maybe we are drinking some not coffee, maybe hot chocolate, or if you are a grown-up, a cup of coffee, and it leaves a ring of coffee. Oh no, the hot cocoa made a ring. What should we do? Has potential. Ooh, if we play with its shape. He made it into a frog, licking the hot cocoa, of course. We don't want to get hot cocoa to waste. And then holes in your paper. Oh wow, sometimes we are drawing and we get to color and color and color until there is a hole in our paper. What should we do? Are worth exploring, and the kids can get to see all through there. Wow. And the last thing we say is when you think you have made oh no, they kind of scribbled over a word here, a mistake. So when you think you have made a mistake, even the scribble, even to cancel something or to get something out of your writing, we can get to make it into some grass and a flower. We can say, oops, I made a mistake. But we can think of it as an opportunity to make something. Oh, there's even a piece of paper that got crumbled. So think of it as something beautiful. And the author does all of these amazing drawings from all of the other ideas in the book at first. Well, this book, or again, I don't think of this as a book, but I think of it as a very amazing tool that you can get. I got it on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon if you would like. This is not a sponsorship of the book by any means, but it's a really cool tool to have on hand if you are working with children as a clinician, or if you are a parent who wants to have a tool to work with your child on the need to be perfect all the time. After we read the book, I usually have the child have a piece of paper and I have a piece of paper, and we do this activity simultaneously so that they are not alone in it. And I get a marker and the child gets a marker. We put the tip of the marker on the piece of paper, then we close our eyes and then we scribble, 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 scribble until I say stop, and then we stop. And then there's a scribble. Oops. A scribble can be kind of like a mistake because we didn't know where every single part of the marker will go on the piece of paper. So it is kind of like a mistake, but we can make it into something beautiful. Then we do scribble art. We can get to have our art and color in some parts of the scribble to make it into a shape that our eye can see, and no two scribbles will be the same and no two scribble arts will be the same. It is really, really cool, and you get to decide what the scribble is. Now sometimes kids who are very, very much into, like, I want it to be a specific thing and I can't see anything, we can say that's all right. You can even color into the scribble to make it colorful, make it into a rainbow, make it into a colorful, like, stained glass, you know. It does not have to even be a certain shape. So we can be very flexible with that, because that's exactly the goal of this intervention, to create more flexibility in the brain in regards to the brain wanting everything to be perfect. So I hope you enjoyed this intervention. Go try some scribble art and get to make your own art, get to make your own beautiful oops, so that when we get to have a difficult assignment or project or even life situation, we can have some more mental flexibility of, maybe it doesn't have to be this way, maybe it can be something else, because I can let my imagination run wild and I can do this even when it's hard. I can try to make it work, but also it does not have to be perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.